Hey y'all. Woo! My camera's a little dirty. Let me knock it off. Okay, yeah, that's better. I am coming live because just wanted to share something that I've been thinking about. Excuse my hair, y'all. It's not as cute as usual. You know that day right after you wash it, it is just so extra curly and fluffy. But anyway, this is something that I wanted to share. This is another video that is, it could be considered a video that is geared toward young women, but I think that women of all ages actually need to hear this. And I'm sorry, I am doing this on my phone, so you may hear my text notifications and everything coming in. But there is an Odu. It is the Odu O'Shea in the Dilogun Oracle, and it says spoilers are not as rare as improvers, and improvers are not as numerous as spoilers. It says that those who seek to spoil me actually improve me. But the part of that Etan, the part of that Ose, that's not the complete Etan. The Etan is the complete Odu. But that little part at the top, that's just the proverb. So the part of that proverb that I wanted to touch upon is spoilers are not as rare as improvers, and improvers are not as numerous as spoilers. So this was something that was taught by our ancestors in ancient Yoruba land tens of thousands of years ago. Okay? This is a truth of life. And I'm mentioning this because women are out here, black women in particular, is who I'm gearing this towards, are out here being extra nice and extra giving to people that they barely know. I'm not sure where that is coming from. I'm not sure why that is a position that you will put yourself in. So I'm giving you this proverb, this truth that was taught by our ancestors thousands of years ago, taught that spoilers are not as rare as improvers, and improvers are not as numerous as spoilers. What does that mean? That means that there are more people who will spoil you, who will ruin you, who will do you harm, who will cause things to be difficult for you, than there are people who will improve you. Okay? So you cannot just be out here in the world willy-nilly, being kind and being considerate and giving this and giving that to people before you know their character. Take the time to learn people's character before you begin to give of yourself. Now, I'm not saying this to say not to have manners. And what I mean by that is, don't be out here acting like you wasn't raised. Don't be out here acting a damn fool and walking around and not having manners and not, showing basic consideration. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about slam the door in people's faces, walk up in places and cuss people out. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not condoning that, because that type of behavior is ignorant. It's just as ignorant as the behavior that I am actually speaking of. So the behavior that I'm speaking of is, you barely meet somebody. Let's say this is a romantic interest. You barely meet this person. You've known this person for a couple of weeks, and you're deciding to make a purchase for this person. You're deciding to go in and buy lunch for this person. You've only known this person for 2 weeks. You don't know this person well enough to know if buying lunch for them is a good move. And yes, start out with small things like that. Make determinations about small things like that. Is this a good move? Is this something I should do? You know this person a couple of weeks. You don't know whether or not this is somebody that's safe for you to have sex with. You don't know. You've known this person a couple of weeks. You don't know whether or not this person needs to meet your children. You don't know whether or not this person deserves your consideration. You don't know. But your assumption should be that spoilers are not as rare as improvers. And improvers are not as numerous as spoilers. That should be your first assumption. I was raised, I'm so glad that I had a father in my life and older brothers, but I was raised as a woman, as a girl, from girl into womanhood, to be suspicious of every man that approached me. I was raised with the understanding that men in this male-dominated society, in this patriarchal society, are looking at me as a woman, as prey. I was raised with that understanding. So anyone who approached me and anyone who approaches me, you're going to have to go through some rigorous testing in order to get to the point where I trust you enough to be giving of myself, to be giving of my time, to be giving of my attention, certainly to be giving of my resources. I was raised with this particular understanding. Hey, girl. So I am always baffled with women who are just out here just throwing themselves away willy-nilly. You're just tossing yourself away. And I'm going to tell you what that actually means. And you're going to try to say, oh, I'm just a nice person. Oh, I'm considerate. Oh, I'm kind-hearted. What do we call it? Where I'm from, we call it free-hearted. You just give of yourself very freely. But all that says about you to the people that you come in contact with is that you don't value yourself enough to figure out whether or not people are worth you. You don't value yourself enough to take the time to determine whether or not somebody is worth your time and attention. That's all that's saying. Nobody is looking at you and saying, oh, she's such a nice person. Oh, she's such a giving person. You're looking like a mark. That's what you're looking like. A mark is someone who is easily taken. Easily taken. That's what you're looking like. Nobody's saying, oh, so kind. Oh, so sweet. This is the type of person I need in my life. That might be what they're saying to your face. But what they are planning inside their mind is, how can I take advantage of her willingness to give of herself without knowing whether or not I'm worthy of what she's giving? You have to take the time to find out whether or not someone is worthy before you begin to give of yourself. That's not a good quality. That is not anything positive. To give of yourself without determining whether or not the person is worth the currency that you are currency. So to just willy-nilly throw away yourself and the currency that you are is not a good quality. That is not a positive quality. That does not make you a better person. That makes you a person who is out here setting herself up to get got. It's telling me I got a poor connection. And I hate for my videos to be choppy. Okay, it went away. I hope that it's not choppy. Somebody speak out and let me know if it's choppy and if y'all can't follow it. And if so, I'll do another one when I get home. I'm dropping my kids off at martial arts. But you have to value yourself in order not to be casting yourself before the swine. For those of you who are Christian, it says, do not cast your pearls before the swine. You don't just put your pearls, your rare things, your precious things in the hog pen to be trampled into the mud. Right? You have to check and see what the nature of a situation is. You have to check and see what the nature of an individual is before you begin to give of yourself. I'm saying poor connection again. I'm gonna try to hold on to it as long as I can, you guys. But if I see that poor connection thing again, I may delete it and do a new one later on this evening when I get home. But you have to, and I see so many Facebook posts, and when I'm counseling women, I talk to so many women, and just listening to the conversation of women, being in the company of women, it is so sad to hear how low on the totem pole we are placing ourselves. And it makes me angry because we are being made to believe that, okay, good. We are being made to believe that putting ourselves low on the totem pole in this way is a good quality, that this is part of what makes you a good woman. And you give of yourself very easily, you give of yourself very quickly, you don't take the time to assess the situation before you just begin to pour love and affection and healing and goodness into it. We're made to believe that that is a good quality for you to have as a woman, that that is a quality that worthy men are out here looking for. And let me just tell you that that is bullshit. Any man who is worthy of your time and who can see your worth is going to expect you to take the time to get to know him before you begin to give of yourself. Any man who's worthy of your time has an expectation of that. He does not have an expectation that you are just out here willy-nilly throwing yourself away. That's not true. You're being made to believe something that is not true. You are being conned. You're being conned socially. This is a social con for women. So I'm going to give you a phrase that you need to take in. You need to ingest this. Take this into yourself. Internalize it. Self-preservation is the first law. This is the law of existence. Self-preservation. That's the first law. If you are not focused on protecting yourself. And when I say yourself, if you're a mother, then your children are part of that up until they are able to take care of themselves. But if your focus is not on protecting yourself, taking care of yourself, giving yourself the best first, then you are going to get got. You are putting yourself in the position to be taken advantage of. You are putting yourself in the position to be abused. You are putting yourself in the position to be mistreated and to be treated less than your worth. And you're doing that by not beginning with taking the time to see who is worth your currency. You are currency. As a woman, you are currency. Your time, your attention, your presence is currency. So you have to check and see who is worth that. If you were walking around with $1,000 cash in your purse, would you just be throwing that at people? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. But you are worth more than that. But you're just throwing yourself at people. You're just out here giving of yourself willy-nilly. You're giving of your time to people who don't deserve it. You're giving of your attention to people who don't deserve it. You're giving of your love and your affection to people who don't deserve it. You're giving of your sex to people who don't deserve it. You are cooking food for motherfuckers who don't deserve it. You are taking care of people who are sick, who don't deserve your care. Self-preservation is the first law. If you are not out here preserving yourself first, taking care of yourself first, then you are suffering from a lack of self-love, and you gonna get got because you're putting yourself out here and saying, hey, come and get me. You're putting yourself out. It is just like, imagine yourself as a fawn, a baby deer, a little tiny, beautiful, precious Bambi. If you knew that there was an enclosure in a zoo that was full of tigers, would you take Bambi and drop Bambi in that enclosure and say, oh, well, Bambi is a good person. Bambi's goodness is going to protect Bambi. That's what's going to protect Bambi from these hungry tigers. Bambi is going to be nice. Bambi's going to be so nice that these hungry tigers are not going to devour her. Would you think that? But that's what you think about your damn self. You are a precious, delicate, wonderful, beautiful commodity worth more than a baby deer. Thousands upon thousands, millions upon millions more than a baby deer. But you go daily and stand in the tiger enclosure and say, come and get me, tigers. I'm nice. I'm a nice person. I'm just a giving person. I'm just a caring person. That's just how I am. I'm just free. I give of my love freely. I give of myself freely. Then you somewhere shocked and in my inbox trying to get it taken care of, and I don't mind helping. I ain't saying that I mind helping, but you somewhere shocked when the tiger comes and devours you. When the tiger comes and push you in their mouth and go back and forth like that. You know how the dogs do and how the predatory animals do when they get prey in their mouth and they just throw it back, sling it back and forth. You shocked when the tiger is doing your ass like that. But you was standing there in the tiger enclosure with no protection. You dropped your goddamn self down in the tiger enclosure and said, I'm nice, so I'm just going to sit here in the tiger enclosure. That's bullshit. That is not a quality of a good woman. A woman who does not protect herself, a woman who does not see her worth enough only to give it to people who are worthy, that's not the quality of a good woman. That is just as dumb as dropping yourself down in the tiger enclosure. Furthermore, if someone is an asshole, if someone is a predator, if someone is a crusty foot, which is my term for men who are sorry as hell and who are out here preying on women, if someone is a crusty foot, your love, your care, your affection, your kindness, your niceness is not going to change them. They are crusty because that is what they have chose. Crusty is a choice. It is a personal choice. And they are crusty and they will remain crusty until they decide to be something else. And when they decide to be something else, it ain't going to have a goddamn thing to do with somebody being nice to them. That's not what's going to change them. What changes people like that is when somebody says, get the fuck away from me. I ain't got time for your goddamn bullshit. And they see there's a certain level of woman I'm not going to be able to get with this crusty ass behavior. And when they decide that they're ready for that level of woman, then they know that they have to change. But if you are going to allow yourself to be taken advantage of by people under the auspices of thinking that the nicer I am to him, the more that I show him love, the kinder I am to him, the kinder he will be, you are going to get got. You putting yourself in the goddamn tiger enclosure. And your ass is Bambi. You going to get ate. You going to get put in the mouth of the predator and slung from side to side. And once you are able to extricate yourself, if you get out alive, because the number one killer of black women is their partners. So if your ass get out alive, you going to be so mangled that it's going to take you years to heal. So I'm here trying to help your ass out on the front end. It is not a redeeming quality to be out here giving of yourself as though you are worth nothing. Be wise. Practice self-preservation. Your love, your kindness, your sweetness, that is for the people who deserve it. Giving it to non-deserving motherfuckers is only going to get you got. Your mama should have told you this. Your daddy should have told you this. Your older brother should have told you this. And maybe they did. And maybe you were like I have been at times and you just brushed off what they said till your ass realized you was in the tiger enclosure. Right? Maybe you brushed it off. So, okay, mother is here. I'm here to refresh your memory. Keep your ass out the tiger enclosure. Right? Protect yourself. Self-preservation is the first law. What did our ancestors say? This is what I'm going to end the video with. Don't forget it. Spoilers are not as rare as improvers, and improvers are not as numerous as spoilers. There are more people out here. Amber alert. pray that that child is found. There are more people out here who will spoil you than who will improve you. And I'm sorry that the world is like that. I truly am. I'm not being facetious right now. I'm being serious. I'm sorry that that is how the world is, but that is how the world is. That is the world that we live in. That is the world that our ancestors lived in, or they would not have made the proverb. This is the nature of life, you all. Life is not simple. Life is not easy. Life is not necessarily safe. We do not say that the life of the lion in the savannah is a safe life. We say that that is the life that he's living. But we have been led to believe that we are living some sort of other life than the life of the lion in the savannah. Something different than the life of the lion in the savannah. We're not. We're living in just as dangerous of an environment as he is. So we have to protect ourselves and be vigilant, just like our brother lion is. We have to be vigilant. We have to be wise. We have to keep our eyes open. We have to pay attention. Our focus has to be on self-preservation. If you are a parent, self-preservation and the preservation of the lives of your children is the same until they are old enough to take care of themselves. But your focus has to be self-preservation. Your focus has to be protection. Men are not out here appreciating women who are giving up their love and kindness for free. Men are not appreciating that. Women, please stop believing that bullshit. Please stop perpetuating that bullshit. Please stop telling other women that sweetness and kindness don't get you nowhere but got. I want you to keep that image in your mind of that deer being slung back and forth by that predator, because that's where the fuck sweetness and kindness is going to get you. Pay attention. Keep your eyes open. Believe your eyes, believe your ears. If it don't look right, it don't sound right, it ain't right. Keep it moving. Keep it stepping. You have to have known somebody for 5, 6, 7, or 8 months before you determine that this person is worth the currency of you. Take your time. Get to know somebody. Then determine whether or not they are worth your currency. And there's no magic number. There's no magic number when you will know, but you will know when the person is actually worth the currency of you. They're worth your time. They're worth your attention. They're worth your love. They're worth your consideration. Take the time until you feel secure in that. Until that's not something you have to wonder about. Oh, should I buy him lunch? Oh, he's short today on his money. Should I buy lunch? He usually buys it. Should I buy? If you have to ask yourself, should you do it? Then you should not do it. You should know the person well enough to not have to ask that. If you have to ask, should you, then you be like, oh, damn, sorry, you forgot your wallet. I'm about to enjoy this salad. Yeah, that's how that's supposed to work. That's what's going to get you respect. And respect is what you want. Respect is the foundation of a worthwhile relationship. Respect is the foundation of being treated properly. If you are not respected, you are not going to be treated properly. And the person can confess their love all day long, but if they don't treat you in a way that lets you know that they value and respect you, if you don't feel valued and respected, then you're not going to be able to build a strong relationship. It is not at all possible. It is not at all possible. So Mother was just here. Mother was here to give you this particular update, this particular tidbit, this particular reminder, because maybe your mother did teach you, your daddy did teach you, your big brothers did teach you, your cousin them. Maybe they did teach you this. If you have forgotten it, if you have put it down, if you have allowed something in life to make you believe that now is the time for you to just be out here willy-nilly being nice for no goddamn reason, then I'm here to remind you that no. That is not an honorable quality in a woman. It's not an honorable quality in anyone. Certainly it's not an honorable quality in a woman. And if someone is expecting you to give of yourself before you feel completely and totally secure enough to do that with no doubt, if someone's expecting you to do it earlier, then they are a con artist and they are trying to get you. Yes, it goes for men too. This goes for everybody. Somebody's expecting you to give before you know well enough that this is something that you feel comfortable doing. They trying to get you. And you gonna get got if you give to them. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Don't put yourself in the goddamn tiger enclosure unless you trying to get got. Otherwise, keep your ass up out of there. Self-preservation is the first law. Spoilers are not as rare as improvers. Improvers are not as numerous as spoilers. There are more people out here who will spoil you. So be on point. Be on guard. Be about your self-preservation. Do not be easy with motherfuckers. Do not be out here being overly kind. Do not be out here giving of yourself and then turning around feeling hurt and bad when you ain't got shit to show for it. Don't be mad about it. When you in the tiger enclosure and you realize you in the tiger enclosure, get your ass out and don't sit nowhere and be mad and don't sit nowhere and be shocked. Damn, I can't believe that tiger mangled me like that. Well, it's a goddamn tiger. It's the nature of a tiger to mangle prey. So know that you are out here basically as prey. That is the society that we live in. So act like it. Be vigilant. Be serious. Be on point. Be on guard. Don't walk around in fear. Because if you're vigilant and serious and on point and on guard, you don't have shit to fear. Pay attention. Believe your eyes. Believe your ears. Believe your intuition. Ladies, believe that inner feeling. Believe it. Never been wrong. Listen to it. Pay attention to it. Take it extremely seriously. But I'm going to go. Let me get on in here. See that my babies are kicking ass properly in karate class. My children go to Scruggs Karate. You should bring your children over here too if you're in the Nashville area. Peace, love, light. Y'all know how I do. Ecstasy, abundance, and bliss to all of those who are within the sound of my voice and wishing the same for me and mine. And as always, the lessons of life to those who are wishing us otherwise. Peace, y'all.